Again, it's going to vary because of each, different church.
And would the server still bring up the water for the, okay.
And frequently, wouldn't the server still bring the things over to the altar, and you would lay out, because again,
If they bring it over, then you take them from them.
right, then you take them from them, and then you're the one who would open up the corporal and place the chalice on it, that sort of thing. Okay.
So you, again, adjust accordingly for your...
Right.
Then, Acolyte is also a minister of the Eucharist. So it would be good that you also then distribute communion.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of get on the schedule,
Can we do this and also be a communion at the same time, or is it one or the other?
No, the Acolyte is a Eucharistic minister. So when you are acolyting, part of the ministry is to also
Ordinary.
You're in that middle ground.
The difference between extraordinary minister and ordinary minister.
Then, another role that you have is that you now purify the sacred vessels. Now, there's different ways to do that. One way is to purify the vessels at the altar. And basically what you're doing is you're taking care of any bread particles or any residue wine that is in the chalice. So there's different ways to do it. For the bread, you take the bread and pat it, and that gets the breadcrumbs out. For the cup, you take a little water, pour a little water in, and then drink it. And then if you have multiple cups, pour a little water in.
Excuse me, Father. So you're putting that water into the chalice, as opposed to putting the water in one, and putting it in the other, and then drinking it. You can do either way. Okay.
But again, it depends on local custom.
Local custom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My preference is, I don't think this is personal opinion. I think it's better done at the credence table. It can be done at the altar, it can be done at the credence table after communion, or it can be done at the credence table after Mass, or someplace after Mass. The way the cathedral does it, which is kind of the example to follow when in doubt, they take the sacred vessels off the altar, place it on the credence table. They have another cloth that they just simply cover it with. Oops. And then they take care of it after Mass.
But that's not how we're going to do it here.
Yes.
Oh, so you're not purifying
At the altar, no.
Okay.
No. So you purify it after Mass.
After Mass.
Now you're very much do it differently.
Okay.
Okay?
So again, here we purify vessels
After Mass. That's what they do at the cathedral.
Any unused wine is consumed.
You're not.
Well, the question was, how about any excess wine? Normally, you would consume that after communion. If you're unable to consume it, then you would keep it in a covered chalice. And after Mass, also consume it. If it's just too much, you can dilute it with water until it no longer looks like wine, and then pour it down sacrorium. You all know what a sacrorium is.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Anyone does not know what a sacrorium is? It's the same that does not go into the sewer system. It goes into the ground. Sacrorium.
So what about we don't have it?
Yeah, we do.
All parishes have it.
There's one there.
So, same way, if you have a host that maybe fell from someone's mouth, you could take that, put it in a dish of water, set that in the sacrorium, the lid closed, and wait till it kind of dissolves in a few days. When you clean the altar, again, very important, when you pour for the corporal, again, part of the reason you have it is any breadcrumbs. So you always keep it flat. So, now, you're not supposed to be a distraction. So when you're unfolding and folding, don't overdo it. I've seen it done this way, you know. You're calling it this, you're attention to yourself, you know. This is not a main part of the Mass. This is just simply an act of reverence for the Eucharistic species that came on linen, because Christ's body was wrapped in linen. Okay, so does that have to be perfect? It does have to be cut flat. And sometimes maybe someone irons it differently. So the creases aren't in the right place. That's okay, don't do it at that point. Because you just negated the whole purpose of having it, by flipping it around.
It's usually good
Although you
practice
seem to take
not-
great joy in that.
Just pointing out what not to do.
And however it opens is however it opens.
However it opens.
It's usually good practice, though. I mean, when we do it, I always look at it beforehand to see how it's going to open up. So you can kind of work.
And ideally, if there's a cross on it, that will be on the outside, so that when it unfolds, you can really see where it's going to go to. So hopefully, whoever cleans your linens at your church
Sometimes
does that.
the corporal is placed on top of the chalice.
Sometimes that's kind of a traditional way of carrying it. So usually this chalice has a purificator in it, and a corporal on top.
Yeah.
So you can carry, if you just carry on like this, you know, then you take the corporal off.
Cover over it.
That's the way we do it.
That was on the tube, right? He was carry the whole.
What about,
People still use
If you have a pall, the pall will go below the
Father,
corporal.
what about that square,
The pall?
the pole?
Paul is a hard square, it's like cardboard with
Yeah.
Between
We used to have a
purificator-
nice thing over it too.
purificator
what is
and
that
the
called?
corporal.
Pat?
No.
That's too easy. It's got to be something tougher.
Is Paul just put off to the side then? If it comes up, does it come up to the altar? Paul,
If it comes off, yeah, just put it on
to the side.
Another little liturgical principle is that only what is necessary should be on the altar. Okay, so if you're, there are the hymnals on the altar, well, take it off and put this someplace else. Normally the book isn't on the altar to begin Mass with, because it's not needed. So the altar usually has only what is necessary on it.
On the purifying, you didn't, I've seen where they put water in the dish.
The dish, that's
They would raise it around and go on to the, start there and then they go to the cups and then they let drink glass.
yeah, so whatever your custom is. Because I remember being an altar boy in my youth. The old Irish pastor, he had a little round pattern. He would scrape
Oh, yeah.
the corporal. We were just kind of guess how much lint was in your stomach. So, so again, the idea is to get accustomed with your own parish community. Suggest to your pastor that, Father McKee in the program suggests I might want to do the penitential rite. What do you think about that? Enter into a conversation with him. When you get scheduled to be acolyte, that can be a complicated thing because you already have Eucharistic ministers scheduled, So